What's going on, everybody? Let's get into another video today. We're going to be doing a shadow fade, and it's going to be a crop style haircut up top. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my number 3 guard, and I'm going to keep it all the way open so I can debulk and create that top guideline that I want to achieve. It's going to create the shape for the blend, and I'm going to be following that all the way throughout with all my other guidelines, with all my other blending techniques. And once I do that number 3, I'm going to follow up with a number 2, and I'm just debulking right now, lightening up the area. And once I'm done debulking, I'm going to create my bottom guideline, and I've got my lever all the way open with no guard to create the shape, and I'm following that same shape that I used with that number 3. Once I'm done with that, I follow up with my number 1.5 guard, and at this point, this is where I'm going to start blending. And while I'm doing this, I'm slowly closing the lever. With every guard that I use, I go all the way open, halfway closed, and then fully closed. The next step is my number 1 guard. Same thing, guys, leaving it all the way open, halfway closed, and then fully closed. And I'm always staying under the most previous guard that I used. That way, I'm not going to create any more guidelines. I'm just going to be blending in to that lever open at the bottom. Once that's completed with the lever all the way closed, I'm following back up with my half guard or my 0.5 guard, depending on which guards you use and which system you're using. It'll either be a half guard, a 0 guard, or a 0.5. I've got the double magnetic Stylecraft guard, so it's a 0. Following that up with no guard, and this is where I'm going to be doing detail work. So my lever open didn't quite go into my 0 guard all the way closed, so I'm just going to be using the corner of my blade, and I'm just going to be flicking out using the last 3 to 4 teeth just to do some detail work so that it can have a nice smooth buttery blend. And now I'm going to be creating that C cup, and I left the C cup area a little bit darker because I'm not going to be using enhancements. This way it's going to appear to have a darker lineup, it's going to appear to have enhancements, and you're still going to see that nice C cup that's being created right here. And now throughout this other side of the head, I'm going to be following the same steps. I'm just going to be speeding it up so you don't have to see the same amount of time. So I start with a number 3 guard, and then I'm going to follow up with a number 2. Once that's done, I'm going to create my bottom guideline, lever open, because this is a shadow fade and I don't want to leave it all the way down to the skin. I want this to have a stubble. That's the reason why it's called a shadow fade. Think of it as like 5 o'clock shadow at the very bottom of the blend. This way it still allows you to get that nice little line up around the ears and down the vertical bars of the neck. Once I'm done with that, I followed up with the number 1.5. Then I had my number 1 guard on it right now. And once that's done and I start to feel like it's lightening up a little bit more, once I get to my lever closed, I follow that up immediately with a 0 guard, also, the half guard or the 0.5 guard. And I didn't feel the need to use my lever open because the way that I flicked out originally on this side, it goes straight to the 0 guard. So now I'm just creating that lineup, and you can see it a little bit better over here. It's got that nice C cup, it's dark around the edges, and it's going to make it pop out a little bit more so it seems enhanced. Now we're doing the lineup around the ear, and as you can see, once you hit it with the trimmers, it really makes the blend and the lineup pop out. And it's also got a tapered effect, which I blended out the sideburns and the back of the neck, but I still left behind the ears and a little bit of the back of the head, a little bit dark. That way it's going to have a nice little lineup all the way throughout. And I'm doing the same thing on the other side. As you can see, I'm following his natural hairline, trying not to create white walls, which means if you go too far into the actual hair growth, you're going to get it like a demarcation of where the sun doesn't hit, so it's going to be a lot lighter skin tone, and it's going to look like a white wall. And we're trimming down his beard a little bit, so I'm just knocking that down before I hit the lineup. So I'm just making sure to get it even all the way throughout. And you can see, man, these trimmers are hitting. They're not sharp on the skin the way that I have them set. They're zero gapped, but they're not too bumped up to where it's going to cut and irritate the skin. As you can see, it's soft on the neck, and the neck is a very sensitive area, so you don't want to leave any red marks or any demarcations from the trimmer. Just lining up the mustache now. I'm starting with right above the lip at the bottom of the mustache to create my shape. And then once that's done, I tap the top line, and I'm not going too far into the mustache, and I'm not making it skinny. Here, this is where we're going to do the cutting up top with my scissors or the shears. I'm creating my horizontal guideline right in the middle of the head, and that's going to be what I base this crop style cut off of. As you can see, I'm creating 5 total sections, 1 in the middle and then 2 on each side, using the middle guideline as my reference points for the hair that is shorter. And we're not taking off a whole lot of hair today. It's just going to be a light little trim, keeping it long. This way it's going to have a nice style, it's going to have flow, and it's not going to be too short. Once I'm done with that, just following up with the lineup on the face. I did not get the other side because my hand was in the way, but as you could see, the lineup sets the haircut off. Using that straight razor really makes the beard pop out. Now I'm using some Slick Gorilla texturizing powder after I completely dried the hair, and as you can see, it's bringing that texture out, and it's allowing for a nice clean look, and it's got that textured look, almost looks like feathers. So here's the cut, guys. Let me know what y'all think. We left the bangs a little bit longer. I'm gonna be spinning them around, showing you the cut. So that's it, y'all. Let me know what y'all think. And if you guys liked the video, make sure to like it, comment on it, share some videos. You know, I really appreciate all the support. Thanks for tuning in. Till next time, peace.